Hello students, I am Dr. PC Cambodia, Associate Professor in the Department of English, BSR Government Arts College, Alwar, Rajasthan. This video is for BA Part 2nd English Literature, and in this video class we will discuss the questions and answers as the course is already over. This is for the revision. I shall read out the questions and thereafter I shall be answering them. The students can follow these questions and answers in order to revise for their university examinations if the university examinations are held during the summer vacation. So I read question number 1. How does the pious institution of marriage has been corrupted in the poem London by William Blake? The pious institution of marriage has been plagued or diseased in the poem London because of the developing centers of prostitutions in the red light areas. Then the next question, according to William Wordsworth, how the world is too much with us. According to the poet William Wordsworth, the world is too much with us because we are busy earning and spending. We go on calculating how much we have earned and how much we have spent in a particular span of time, or what is our saving. So we are lost all the day, all the night in it, but we do not pay attention to the beautiful nature around us. The sea is there, it stretches far and wide, it reflects divinity, the blue sky, and waterfalls are there, rivers are there, crags are there. So many beautiful places are there to be visited by us, but we do not take care of the scenes and sights and the places that are important for the visits or the excursions. Therefore, we are busy earning and spending, and this way we are not taking any consideration for the beautiful nature. This way, the world is too much with us. The next question, is the poem The World is Too Much with Us a sonnet? Yes, the poem The World is Too Much with Us is a sonnet. And how many lines are there in a sonnet? There are 14 lines in a sonnet. What do you mean by pagan? Pagan is a type of philosophy which asks us to worship nature, because the gods and goddesses, they live in nature. Such a philosophy does not invite communal riots, because the place of worship is one and the same for all. The divisions are not there in the name of the places of worship and the sect. So there is a common religion in pagan philosophy. Who is Proteus? Proteus is the sea god in Greek mythology. It lives inside the sea and it emerges when people give a call to Proteus. Who is Triton? Triton is an imaginary figure in Greek mythology, the upper half of Triton is said to have been of the shape of a human being, and the lower half tails off in form of a fish. It is all imaginative because such figures cannot be seen on the surface of the earth. Then the next question, describe the beautiful looks of the city of London as stated in the sonnet upon Westminster's Bridge by William Wordsworth. According to William Wordsworth, London city is peaceful and calm at the morning hours. The sky is clear. It is without smoke. Then the early rays of the sun, they fall on entire London city. Entire London city illuminates with golden light. Then he describes the beautiful scene and sight of the river. Here, the river itself means Thames, because if we put the article the before river, it is to be understood as Thames, dividing London city in two parts, and several bridges are there to connect one part from the other, and Westminster's Bridge is one of such bridge connecting two parts of London city. We should observe that it is one of those few sonnets wherein Wordsworth describes the scene of a city. Otherwise, he has been praising the rural scenes and sights. Then, name the poet who composed the poem Solitary Reaper. The poet who composed the poem Solitary Reaper is William Wordsworth. Does he belong to romantic trend of poetry? Yes, he belongs to the romantic trend of poetry, and he is an important poet of this period. Who are the other romantic poets who are quite famous? Shelley, Coleridge, then Byron are the other poets who belong to this period of romanticism, and we see that they were singing about nature and they wanted to escape. Not that they wanted to destroy themselves, but they wanted to go to some other place, because this earth was full of fever and fret, which causes a lot of pain. What was the solitary reaper doing in her fields? The solitary reaper was singing melodious tunes in her field. Then she was involved in one more activity. And what was that? She was bending over her crops with a sickle and reaping them. This way we see that the solitary reaper was involved in two activities: reaping while singing and singing while reaping. Why was the poet attracted towards solitary reaper? The poet was highly influenced by her music and the tunes. So he got attracted. Did the poet disturb the solitary reaper? No, the poet didn't disturb the solitary reaper singing and reaping. Had the poet disturbed, then what would have happened? Had the poet disturbed the solitary reaper, then she might have stopped singing. And this would have put the author or the poet to a loss because he was overjoyed by listening to her tunes. Then we come to the other question. Trace the device of hyperbole in the poem Solitary Reaper. We come across one of the poetic device, that is hyperbole, in the poem Solitary Reaper. Hyperbole is a poetic device wherein an issue is given several and several times, higher and higher dimensions. And the example in it is that when the solitary reaper sings, the entire valley is full of music. We know that when a single person sings in a field, he or she may become the source of entertainment for a couple of persons, maybe 25, 50, or if there are more people around, there could be 100. But when a single person sings, the entire valley cannot be full of music, or rather, music cannot overfill that valley. So we understand that the poet is giving Himalayan dimension to an issue. Then the next question, does the poet understand the contents of the song sung by the solitary reaper? No, the poet does not understand the contents of the song sung by the solitary reaper because she was singing in the dialect or the language which was unknown to the poet. So the poet only guesses that it could be some painful song of some epidemic that might have been caused in the past, or that might have claimed several lives, or it may be a song related to the great victory of a great hero, or it could have been the content of some battle fought in the past. But anyway, the poet agrees that she was singing melodiously. Now we end this video class for the time being, and we shall take up the other set of questions which the students can listen and can revise for the examinations, if examinations are held according to the timetable released by the universities. Thank you so much.